For more on this, let's bring in Middle East Forum Chief Strategist Jim Hansen. He served in the U.S. Army's Special Forces. There was a big push, obviously, during the Afghanistan withdrawal to bring in those people who had helped U.S. forces. But it seems like some corners were cut, some mistakes were made. Jim, what do you think?
They absolutely were, and we have evidence of that, unfortunately. I think there is a good feeling about wanting to help people who helped us, but that doesn't make it a good idea, especially if we're in a situation where we can't validate their ability to live in a fully westernized society. And I think the Trump administration is bringing back an idea they called in the first term extreme vetting, where you go much deeper into people's belief systems, much deeper into their backgrounds, much deeper into where they've lived. It's not based on their race or anything else. There's no discrimination in it. It's based on the idea that some cultures are different than other cultures, and the people living there may not be suitable to come here and become Americans.
Back when Jen Psaki was the spokeswoman for the Biden administration, our Peter Ducey asked her about some of these people slipping through the cracks. Here's that exchange.
Is there any concern that maybe trying to reach this deadline and get everybody out, mistakes are being made now that there is a report that at least one of the Afghans evacuated to Qatar has suspected ISIS ties?
Well, first, I would say we have a stringent vetting process, which includes background checks before any individual comes to the United States. So I can't speak to one individual, but I can tell you and confirm for you that we take the vetting of any individual who comes to the United States and comes out incredibly seriously.
I suppose to put the best possible light on his admission to this country, maybe he did pass a vetting test back then, but was radicalized in this country. That's what the DHS secretary seemed to suggest, that he had been radicalized here. How do you stop something like that, Jim?
Again, you can go back to the concept that you're bringing people, and look at Afghanistan. How long has it been a tribal nightmare society, where they've been killing each other and anyone who had the audacity to come to their country for 1,000 years plus? So if you look at that, why would we bring people who are almost certainly going to be unable to adapt to life in America and assume that they're going to magically transform into model citizens? It's not a smart move. And right now, the president has stopped all migration from a number of countries where we can't validate the backgrounds of people because their governments don't have the information, and their cultures have shown that they're not creating the kind of people we want to bring here who will add value to American society.
Congressman Brad Knott is a Republican of North Carolina who echoes your thoughts. Listen to him.
There are some people who will never assimilate into this country, whether it's because of cultural irregularities or their refusal to submit to Western values. We should not insist on bringing those people into the country. Sure, we can help them. But what Biden did is he brought in millions of people without any care, and distributed them around the country. And again, if we paused immigration in full, we would still have a monumental task ahead of us to protect the American people based off of what he did.
Is that task ongoing? Is it too hard to take a look at those people who are already here? What do you think?
It doesn't matter how hard it is, John. We have to do it. They're here. There are problems. We cannot assume that they're going to become, the citizens that we want. And we need to first look at the ones who are here, stop bringing in more. And then if we decide at some point to go back to bringing in more, put in extreme vetting standards that start with merit. Is this someone who is going to add value to American society? Is this someone who comes from a place that's going to allow them to assimilate? And then are they someone who's going to put the effort in themselves, which you do through personal interviews? Add all that together and you have a much higher bar that needs to be breached by the person. The default should not be anyone can come here. The default should be show us why we should let you come to America.
Yeah, we opened our first hour with the story of the anti-ICE protests that got so violent in New York City. I just want to get your thoughts on that as we're talking about this issue, Jim.
That is a attempt to undermine the rule of law in this country that's been ongoing for a long time. It's more funding from the Open Society, George Soros revolutionary left, and they think we should have open borders. They think everyone should come here because they don't want a prosperous America. They want America brought down to the level of the rest of the world so they can put us into the globalist, control and run us the way they run the rest of the world. And I'm sorry, we're not going to allow that. So those protests are going to get shut down soon.